Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is something I'm dedicating as an experimentation day. So you'll notice here in the studio, I have things super dark. I've put shades up on all the windows and cut as much as possible the ambient light out as I can, because what I'm essentially doing is I'm gonna be slowing down that shutter again. However, we're gonna be adding colored light to the mix so that we can pick up some of that motion and sort of create some unique effects and looks. So I think, from what I've seen this done many times before, it's kind of like you can find a pattern where you're getting very similar results, but I think part of it is also the uniqueness of each shot from one to the next. And at least that's just my thought on it. So we're gonna experiment a little bit. I'm gonna get Maria in here. Again, I've blacked out the studio. I think that's important when you're trying to do slow shutter and incorporate color. So the light that I have here illuminating me, we're gonna be turning that off. So this video is gonna be very dark aside from the ambient coming from the LED behind us. That's a GVM LED RGB, I believe. So we are able to dial in whatever color we'd like. We've just picked this one based on Maria's outfit. And we're gonna have some fun. For the key light here, so the key here is I am slowing down my shutter, probably somewhere between an 1/8 to a 15th or somewhere in that range. But I have my camera set to rear sync. So basically, my flash, which I have, is an Export 600 SE from Adorama, and then I have the 24 Magbox Pro gridded as our modifier, and that's gonna be our key light. Basically, at the end of the exposure, that light's gonna fire and hopefully freezing Maria in that instant. So we'll get the trails of her movement prior and then freeze her right at the end of the exposure. And again, we'll work through. I don't know the results that we're gonna be getting here. That's why it's experimentation day. This is not something I've worked on a lot since I've picked up these LEDs. And so it's time to just get to work and have some fun. Hope you guys follow along. And if you've got some similar shots like this you want to share, link us and we'll check them out. You can find us on Instagram at Jesse_Rinka. So follow us there and tag us if you've taken similar shots. We'd love to see them. But let's get to shooting and we'll show some final results as well. All right, so here we are with Maria in place. Again, the GVM LED RGB light is off to the back. I've had it positioned in a way so that we're trying to limit the amount of spill that light has on Maria's face. Of course, we're gonna be doing a bunch of different movements here as we experiment. I'll take a frame here just to show the exposure with the single light on, no key light. So make sure we pause that guy there. My settings are 1/10 of a second, f8 and ISO 640, shooting on the Sony A9 III with the Sigma 70 to 200 lens. We're gonna be mostly 3/4 or tighter on Maria. So just a quick frame with only the ambient from the LED. And then Maria, just a few subtle movements, twists back and forth. We're just gonna show just some of the way the motion's being picked up. You can take a half step to your right there. Just that, and maybe a little twist like left and right, kind of side to side, just get the hair moving a little bit. So as you'll see from some of these test frames, you can see that motion at 1/10 of a second that's being picked up thanks to the LED illuminating Maria and that exposure happening over that 1/10 of a second. Let's pop that light off for me, Maria, real quick, and we'll just take a test frame with only our key light on. I'll pop the modeling light on so we get a little visual there. All my settings are gonna stay the same. We just wanna make sure that our key light is in a good spot. So we have a great exposure here with no LED added. Of course, I'm gonna have to turn this modeling light off, but Maria, if you can pop that light back on for us, the LED light. And now we're gonna be taking some frames with both lights playing a role here. But first, I'll do one without any movement. Right there. More so for our own reference to know whether or not that LED light is in the right position. Again, trying to limit the spill on like the tips of the nose and that sort of thing. So we still may get some of that as we shoot, but I have it positioned a little bit more further back for that reason. So now Maria will go through just some subtle side to side spins so we get both lights working here and see what kind of results we are going to get. And I'm leaving enough space here as far as my focal length goes so that I can give Maria some room to turn without having her go off frame. So I'm probably at about, I don't know, 115 millimeters or so. So just kind of staying in that position, but rotating back and forth. We're gonna just pop a few frames and see a couple of the results that we're getting. I can notice already great exposure on her and great movement in the hair, especially. Yeah, so keeping yourself a little bit more facing towards the key light, Maria, just kind of get some of that hair to move out and back behind you. So we can try and pick up a little bit more of the streaks in the hair. So you're gonna stay facing that light. You're not gonna turn, but I want your hair to kind of fling back behind you, okay? So yeah, we're just kind of running through that. Good. Good. I want you to close your eyes, looking up just slightly towards the window there, and then just let that hand, just as you've been doing, just kind of let it flow through there. Good. So as we can see from some of these examples, you're definitely getting that nice motion in the hair, getting a great exposure on her. So we might have a couple of great shots here to choose from. Let's do the walking one. So let's kind of I'm gonna have Maria just start a step or two away from our mark on the floor there, and just kind of have her like maybe walk through and just create some motion again with the hair. And we're just gonna be taking like a single step to our sweet spot and kind of a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of energy, so we get some motion. Again, at 1/10 of a second, you should be pretty good. Shouldn't have to go too fast, but let's try it out on 3, Maria. 1, 2, 3. Good. So it's use the left hand for the hair, and just kind of as you go, just like fling it out a little bit, and on 3, 1, 2, 3. Good, love it. So just peeking through some of the frames there. I love that. So if we get the hand to kind of really go up higher through the hair, like as you fling the hair through, you can even take a little step closer to the spot. So you don't have to move too much in that regard, just a small step, but it's really just kind of getting that hair and hand up a little bit. And 1, 2, 3. Good, perfect. So I think just even in those few frames, we've got a couple of good ones there. All right, so I think it's safe to say that this was a really fun exercise for Experimentation Day, and just kind of going at it and having some fun, trying to create some cool shots. You know, learning new skills is important. So obviously I've done a lot of shutter drag before, just not specifically here in the studio, trying to achieve these exact types of looks using the constant LED light mixed with the traditional strobe. So, you know, I think we'll share a bunch of our favorites from this little session that we did. And, you know, I think it just goes to prove that, you know, this sort of thing takes a lot of time to master. So I went in this just with an open mind, you know, not expecting top-notch results, but I think we definitely have some winners here, something to start a good foundation on as we build towards learning this new skill and perfecting it. Again, I bought these lights, I think a year ago, with the purpose of doing this type of shooting a little bit more. So this is my motivation to get out there. I hope it motivates you as well to try some slow shutter drag and incorporate multiple lights. Of course, as I start to get more comfortable, I might add second lights, third lights, but it's just about starting from the beginning and working your way up over time. You know, that's what this is all about. So hope you found this video helpful. Hope you like some of the shots we share, and I look forward to seeing everyone again on the next video. Have a good one.